two earthen floors have radiant tubes in them that will be heated with hot water that is also heated from the wood burning cook stove. So a byproduct of cooking on the wood stove is that we'll have hot water. And then we can dump that water into this room or the other bedroom and heat the slab of this floor. And so this is an earthen subfloor. This is about 3 inches of clay and sand and straw mixed together kind of sloppily and gooshed down and traveled on roughly level. And then there'll be about 1 inch of finished floor mix on top of this that will be kind of like a finished plaster. It's finer sand and should be pretty smooth. If you come back to the other side of this bedroom, you see the other side of this light clay straw wall, and it's really solid, and this will take a plaster right on top of it. One of the cool features to a round house with interior walls is that the walls are all curving, and so right now we're in the kind of back part of the bigger bedroom, and because the wall curves like this, we get some nice private sector to this bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
But we can walk around, and this is all bedroom, but it's a pretty big space. And now in this end of the bedroom, there'll be a door here that's gonna have a full glass panel on it. And then this will be a glass window that is operable to let heat in from the sunroom. And then these wattle walls will let a lot of light in. And so this becomes kind of the public sector of the bedroom. So maybe there's a big chair here to read in, and you can kind of be in your bedroom, kind of private-ish space, but still interact with people in the kitchen. So this is like the public sector of the bedroom.
Nice.
So the other side is basically the same as that, but a little bit smaller because the entrance and the bathroom are removed from it, from the curve. And from here you can see kind of some nice details. So this interior wall is 3 different systems. The lower part of the wall is wattle and daub, and so it's branches that you might be able to see some of them sticking out here that we wove back and forth into the wall system to be this kind of matrix to support the daub. In this case it was basically like a loose cob mix, sand and clay and straw and a lot of water, and gooshed it on there. And that is a pretty solid structural lower part of the wall that holds good support for these cordwoods. And so this is red eastern cedar that we cut here on the land and stacked into a cob mix. And I left the bottom and the top kind of wavy, maybe that's visible kind of there, so that it kind of ties the whole kitchen wall system together in what I'm calling like a river, sort of kind of flowing cordwood around. And then the top of the wall section will be some kind of medium clay straw mix. So different than light clay straw in that there's more clay in it because I want it to hold its shape a little bit more malleable or moldable. But I want it to have more straw in it so that it's more insulative. So that the top part of the wall, which the heat rises, right, it'll hit the ceiling, pretty insulative, move down the sides of the ceiling, hit the wall, and I don't want it to absorb into the top part of the wall. I want it to keep moving down and start absorbing into the thermal mass of the lower part of the wall, so that the heat that we experience from the thermal mass wall comes out where we are, which is in the lower part of the room.
Take a second now to click on the subscribe button if you like the video and want to see more like it.
So this building has strawbale, light clay straw, wattle and daub, cordwood, bottle walls. Often bottle walls are built with a lot of cob built up and then stacking a bottle and building more cob up and stacking a bottle. But this was done for a workshop that I led, and I wanted to make sure we could build a lot of the wall and really just have practice tucking in the cob around the bottles instead of spending a lot of time figuring out where they are placed. And there was a lot of people here in the workshop, and so I built this wooden framework using pallet wood. And so a piece of wood that I drilled holes into just got stuck in and then screwed to the framing members on both sides, and the necks go up through, and this way each row of bottles, the bottom of the bottles just sits on this piece of wood, and so I know that they're level and straight across all the way. And that way I can also space them nicely and do a lot of the kind of design work of the bottle wall ahead of time, so that we didn't have to do it on the fly with students. And yeah, so that was pretty fun. Bottle wall there, these kind of bottles in here. This will have a kind of double or French style glass doors that open. And a stained glass piece that some good friends of ours gave us, Michael and Megan. And it'll probably have some bottles tucked around it on the sides. This sunroom will have tile, probably the same tile that's in the entranceway, to kind of aesthetically match the rooms together. And then this door, I'm also working on installing this right now, goes out to greenhouse space. And so this is the south part of the building, and so kind of symmetrically opposite the north storage and utilities room, this is a trapezoidal sort of shaped room that has lower or less overhang here on it. So there's more sunlight that should come in through all of this glazing and hit this slab. In this case it'll be tile on top of just a little bit of concrete that's on top of crushed glass. Here at Dancing Rabbit we have our own glass crusher, and so we can reclaim that recyclable materials here on farm rather than bringing it elsewhere and recycling it further away. So this is a thermal mass floor that will be tile and absorb the thermal gain, thermal warmth energy from the sun in the winter, and then radiate out into the space, both through the operable windows that go into the bedrooms and the door that goes into the kitchen, and then these other interior part of the walls, this is thermal mass, and so this should absorb the warmth that's gained from the sun in this kind of sunroom area, and store it as well as pass it through and let it help heat the rest of the building. Yeah, I really like round. It feels really easy to me to build using symmetry and get what I think is going to be a sweet space, functional and aesthetically pleasing space with pretty minimal stress in construction on like where does this load-bearing wall go or that load-bearing wall go, or does this 20 by 40 big rectangle, like how do we divide it up? Like, big round just feels easy to me, and very strong. Round is very strong shape.
Are you building this house for yourself or for someone else, or?
This house doesn't have an owner yet. There's a few folks that have expressed interest, but it's I'm building this house on speculation. So there's no owner yet, and I'm building it to sell. I suspect that when it's all said and done, there'll be about $30,000 or $35,000 worth of material in it, and I'll probably sell the house for about $75,000 or $80,000. Currently, there's just under 2 years worth of labor in it, and I suspect it'll be like 2.5 or 3 years when it's all done.
In the next and last video in this tour of Hassan's round house, we'll find out how he built his round roof and how he turns waste bottles into glass bricks for his cob walls. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share and like the video, and I'll see you next time.